So in looking at the personnel, what what you've seen in brief glimpses, who are those guys that need to step up, not just for these guys, but whatever senior losses you're taking from 2017?
Yeah, I think it starts with wide receiver because you're losing Quadri Henderson, but you're also losing leading receiver Jester Weah. Pitt should have some talent and some experience returning there. I think a guy like Maurice French can step up. I think a guy like Rafael Raujo-Lopes can step up. And they have some young guys that were redshirting. So wide receiver is a big position. And it's definitely a big position because Pitt's going into next year with sophomore quarterback Kenny Pickett as the full-time starter. He started one game last year and he managed to beat number 2 Miami. So there's sky-high expectations for Kenny Pickett. Also on the offensive line, there's going to be a lot of new faces, along with Brian O'Neill leaving. You graduate Alex Officer, who was a 3-year starter. There's going to be a little reshuffling up there too. So it's going to be interesting because now Pitt has a new offensive line coach to go with some new offensive line holes to fill. So I think that's just going to be a whole work in progress that's going to start taking place here in a couple weeks whenever spring football gets going. But as far as the defense goes, I mean, losing Jordan Whitehead hurts a lot, but Pitt has DeMar Hamlin, Phil Campbell, some young safeties that got in the rhythm last year, and Pitt redshirted their best defensive recruit, Narduzzi, ever landed. He had some academic issues. Paris Ford, he was a top 50 type player, and many people expect him to get on the field right away and be a starter as a redshirt freshman. So Pitt returns about 8 or 9 starters on defense. They're only really losing Avonte Maddox and Jordan Whitehead. So the optimism this year surrounding Pitt, for a lot of people, it's, can the defense continue? They played well against Virginia Tech. They upset Miami. So they started playing well towards the end of the season. So they're hopefully we'll see some carryover into next season.
Jester Weah, a guy that we've joked about a number of times, Jim, of course, because the yards per catch average throughout his career was just incredible. Led the nation at least once, was in that 24-25 range, took a step back based on the quarterback situation, I believe, last season. 41 catches, 17 per catch, 4 touchdowns. And you mentioned Maurice French. He would seem, as you mentioned, to be the likely candidate to step into that void. 25 catches for 272 through the air last season.